Hello, Sophia and Janett. You are live. You are live on the show. And we're here with the lovely girls from Flock for today's lockdown lesson. And I've been super excited about this. I always am looking for an excuse to get the Flock girls on any of the that we do. And if you remember, the last video we did together was only about 3 weeks ago. And we were talking about business as unusual. I mean, it just seems so long ago, doesn't it?
Seems forever. A lifetime.
Yeah. It's crazy what's happened since. So for those of you out there that are watching that have been living under a rock for the last 3 years and thinking, who the heck are these two beauties? And I don't mean me. Who are you and what do you do?
It's a great question. It's a great question. Well, we are Flock. Our usual business is events, PR and social. The big clue at the beginning of that is events. So that has been, well, there aren't any, are there? Not in the usual format anyway. We specialise in helping businesses stand out, coming up with creative solutions for them and delivering them.
And now at the moment, you don't look like you're in an office, Sophia. Where
I'm
are
not.
you?
I'm at home. I've banished the kids upstairs with a bit of YouTube. They should be doing the homeschooling. That's the chart on the wall of the homeschooling. That's last week's chart because we still haven't finished that. And then we've got this week's to do as well. So yeah, the kids are upstairs. I'm at home. Just, rocking it out with you guys. It's nice to be here. It's nice to be doing something worky, actually.
Okay, well, good. I'm very glad. I didn't want to impede on your day. We don't want the kids not to learn something vital in this half hour. Maybe they should watch this. Then they'll learn actually something that's real life. So you're at home, and just before we went on, the kids ran behind you and up the stairs, which made me laugh. I'm really hoping they're going to do the same in reverse at some point and embarrass you.
Almost definitely, yeah.
Janett has gone out for some peace and quiet, and she's actually in the Flock studio, aren't you? The office.
I am. It's 30 seconds from my front door, and the Wi-Fi in here is so much better. I've left mine too, actually. We started off quite well on homeschooling this morning. It's going all right today. I've left them doing their time capsule projects for COVID-19. They're lovely. So I'm like, do that, and I don't move, and unless you need the toilet. And I'll be doing in an hour.
You live seconds, don't you, from the office? But it's interesting, isn't it, about looking into what is and isn't allowed in terms of working practices, because Phil has chosen to go into our Ashdown Jones office because it's completely empty. It's a rural office, as you two know, and he's just finding it because he doesn't have a big enough house to work from home, as I'm sure you're feeling at the moment, Sophia. You don't have a mansion, do you?
No, I don't have a mansion. I don't know why.
With like an office.
Apparently I can't afford a mansion. It's annoying.
So he's chosen to go into the office so he can actually get work done and do a shorter day, then go home. That's his kind of plan. I'm lucky enough to be able to work from home because I've only got my dog to annoy me. Nobody else gets in the way. So I'm fine, although the Wi-Fi is pants at the moment. We were just saying this morning, weren't we? The Wi-Fi everywhere is pants. Yeah. Trying to do the lockdown lesson on cocktails yesterday with Joyce, where Joyce just kept going blurry. It was either that or she was drinking the cocktails and just being blurry.
I'm hoping it was a combo of both, Joyce.
Yeah, it's been a blur.
So what we want to talk about today, and I know you two need to keep it short because you've actually got things to do today, so we'll try and keep it succinct, but I want to talk about a subject that's really close to my heart, which is all about staying visible through this process. But what is your message as we go through this process and the different kind of, periods of time we're going through, the different stages we're going to? How do you stay relevant, with things like your content? And then what the heck, do we do coming out of this? What does transition look like? What does getting back to normal look like? All those kind of things are going around my head. And I'm sure they are with many businesses, including those ones that are literally closed, because ours isn't literally closed, because we've still got a strong presence. But those are the kind of questions I'm asking myself. Is that the kind of questions you're getting from your community at the moment?
Yeah, I think very much so. People are starting wondering where we're going and how long we're going to be going in this direction for. It's really difficult for people. One of the things we will say is, I picked up on two things there, Sam, is strong presence, really important, and that's kind of what we're going to focus on today. But also, we're all in this period of complete uncertainty. There's noise about maybe in 3 weeks' time they're going to let the schools open. You know, there's all kinds of things going on out there, and we just don't know. What we probably can all agree on is that for the foreseeable future, things are going to be very, very different. Even when they start to open us up, it's going to be very slow. It's going to be very careful, structured, planned. So there's still going to be a lot of the everyday kind of things that we are all used to doing and getting on with. That's still not going to be, we're still not going to be able to do, whether that's professional or personal. So for us, and especially for a business like ours, it is very much about keeping that presence up so that when things get back to normal, whatever normal is, people still remember there were these two girls once called Flock who used to do some stuff.
Yeah. I was going to ask you, have you looked at or heard from other agencies like yours, other sort of PR marketing agencies? What are they doing to stay visible? Have you noticed any particular trends?
Yeah, I think it's similar to the kind of things that we're going to talk to you guys about today. It's staying visible in a sensitive way. It's about not overloading people. It's about really sticking to your own key messages. And I see a lot of really great examples of that happening across our industry. People are just really giving of themselves and of their advice. And the people who are doing that are the ones that I'm looking at and going, yeah, you're doing a good job.
Oh, brilliant. And your Saturday nights, just tell us what you do on a Saturday night that I still haven't managed to make yet. What do you do?
So we do a doorstep disco. It's one of the things that we're going to talk about today. Basically, everybody joins a big Zoom room in their own home. And at the same time, they use a different device, preferably, to tune into Lake District Radio. And they book on and they send in requests of what songs they want. And we all just have a fabulous time dancing for an hour. You bring your own drinks. You bring your own
food. Your own drinks. Yeah, you do. You do.
You bring your own food and you dress down, or you sit in front and watch it, or you stand and dance. But everybody just has the best time. We've got Nick Hood, Cumbria. He's DJ on a Saturday night. He's banging out the tunes, and everyone just has a massive party, and it's brilliant. Exactly. Great time. Some people go out on the street and have a dance.
Do they? Yeah. I probably wouldn't do that here, I don't think. I might get thrown out. And the outfits are something else. That's what puts me off. I don't have any of those kind of disco diva outfits.
We don't have to. Loads of people just tip up. Some people go the absolute whole 9 yards. We had Craig David, Violet Beauregard, just some general fedoras. Kevin Port was wearing a fedora, which was Elvis. We've had Elvis. It's a complete daffodil. I mean, there's been all kinds, but there are also probably more people than who are dressing up are just chilling and turning up in, even the pajamas. Like, don't let that put you off. And also, you're only like that big, aren't you?
Yeah.
Until Janett makes you massive on the screen. Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm all right. I definitely haven't put on any weight.
No, none at all.
All of it.
Lockdown diets. Yeah, well, I might come this week with my dog. What do you think, George? Should we get you dressed up? Yeah, I might come. Okay, so let's dive into your tips and advice about making sure your business is visible and relevant through this process.
Cool. Jay, do you want to kick things off? Number one. Oh no, me. All right. I feel like I'll witter, but I'm going to keep
being away from each other. Actually, is it quite strange? Yeah.
It's horrible. Actually, it's really horrible. I miss Jay a lot.
We speak every day, and it's still not enough.
Not the same.
Let's have a team hug then. Let's hug it out. Come on, Janett.
Miss you all.
You two must miss
my girls, but I miss hugs from my big people.
I'm with you.
I know, and all our friends are all commenting now as well. We miss you all.
Well, we miss you guys too. So we'll crack on. Tip number one. We all kind of know it's important that we stay out there, keep our profile up during this time. But I think the key really is, we've said it before, but it's about being sensitive whilst you're doing that. And I think the key to doing that is by making sure that what you're sharing is relevant to your audience and useful. So even if you can't share your usual sales pitch, can you help people come up with different ways of them interacting with your content? And I think for social, use your social content and really vary it. So I'm seeing loads more videos, a lot more blogs. You've got time now, hopefully. So use the time to write some blogs, get that website up to date, and get a bit creative. I've seen quite a few people have switched to TikTok, and I know you did a brilliant video the other day with remind me of her name. I'm so sorry. Yes, I thought it was Amy. I didn't want to get it wrong. And that kind of thing is really helpful. It's mixing it up, and even if people can't interact with you in a normal way, just stay in their mind. So Jo Evans did a great example of this, didn't she, where she showed how you can make your own handmade sort of balms and creams and that kind of thing. Totally brilliant. Brilliant. I think that is a perfect example of how to keep in someone's mind. It's not necessarily about selling, it's just about staying visible. And that really is important, because on the other side, you don't want to be forgotten about.
No, at the same time, you're going to get a backlash if you actually just try and sell. It's funny though, because people do still want to buy, they don't want to be sold to. So I thought Joanna Ireland, she's and I know I'm giving a lot of shout outs at the moment, she's my nearest neighbour and the only person I see at a distance. So from the hen house, she's been doing loads of great content. And then the other day she was in the shop anyway, and she went, look at these shirts, $16.99, sold 5 like that. You know, so she wasn't doing a sell, but she was allowing people to participate as they would have done normally. And actually people going, do you know what, I've not bought anything during lockdown, I'm going to treat myself to that little shirt, that's lovely. And so I thought that was a really nice way of selling and staying relevant.
Yeah, I think that's the key. And I think as well, I feel there is a bit more of a switch towards supporting local has probably never been more important. And I like to think that that's going to stay on the other side. And people who might not have otherwise bought a shirt or thought to actually physically go into the hen house, because Jo's out there and she's putting it out there in a really nice, like you say, non-salesy way, she's going to pick up some sales. So that's a really great example.
Brilliant.
Cool.
Okay, number two.
Sticking with social media still. So that was kind of on your professional side, but also on your personal side, and this is mainly focusing on LinkedIn. But for example, if you've been someone like Jo, or someone's been furloughed, are they doing something that is for the benefit of others? You know, keep us in, let us know what you're up to. If you're volunteering for the NHS, if you become one of these NHS 750,000 volunteers, me, then let people know that that's what you're doing and the kind of things that you've been out there. The other day, Emma Porter from Story Contracting, she's had to stop working. There's not some, I know there's a big debate about construction work, but they have told them that for her particular job, she won't be doing it for the foreseeable future. So she's taken up volunteering. And all she did was she popped a post on LinkedIn of her sat in her car. She had a big food delivery. She was taking it to vulnerable people who were having to self-isolate. Quick snap, can't go to work, so I've decided to help out doing this instead. Boom. Loads and loads of people commenting, what a great idea, who are you delivering to? Can we get involved? Can we help? That's really boosted Emma just on a personal side, as a human being who's thought, actually, I'll go and help other people. And she's at home homeschooling and doing all the things that we're doing where we're all going a bit like this. But she's taking time out to help others as well. And that's really, really important. That if you're doing stuff like that, let us know. Let everybody know.
I mean, it's so important we remember that the community isn't just a ton load of businesses. It's actually a load of people. With people. And I think what we've seen, well, I've definitely seen it, is people coming together, regardless of what their business is, and trying to help in some way. And that is, shout out, support, teaching, whatever it is. People have wanted to do that because everybody wants to do something, don't they? Because at first we're all kind of like, oh my God, what's happened? And then we're thinking, right, how can we then help? And as a business, you can actually gain a benefit from it in a very non-salesy, non-manipulative way by just being helpful and helping to gather the community even more, which I think is what YouTube does so well. You don't make a bean out of your disco, out of your doorstep disco. It's not about that to you. I know it's not. And I know that you do need to be able to put food on the table for your lovely kiddies. So for you, it's all about creating or maintaining and sustaining that community and allowing people to then find each other, isn't it? And then, and build on each other's support network.
Absolutely. Really, really important. And that was a really good example that you gave as well. Victoria Sedgwick, her daughter Pippa, she's a teacher, and everybody's at home with kids, and we're all looking for online resources and all that sort of stuff. And she's given her time free to say, if anybody needs any help, I will do a Zoom with your kids and you to just give you half an hour of point you in the right directions of how to do fractions or decimals.
Wow. That's right, isn't it? Yeah. And I know we all need to put food on the table. We all need to pay our rent, our mortgages. I know that. But if we can't, or while we're waiting to be able to get some income back in again, now is the time that you can actually use your day productively to do something for the community. And you've seen, I know you've seen lots of examples of that, haven't you?
Oh, absolutely loads. And I think that there has been, it's one of the great things that has come out of all of this is just how amazing people can be. And it has been really, really heartening. I think you're right. The community element is so important.
Sorry, my dog's about to bark at the jet going over. Can you hear the jet? Yeah. They just put the jets out again, haven't they? The jet. You've heard it a million times.
I did see someone share saying like they're going to put a jet over to measure everyone's temperature at 8 o'clock tonight, so you've got to go out and, you know, be naked. But I'm not entirely convinced. Don't believe everything you read online.
I was going to do that. You're telling me that's not true. I haven't got to go stand outside naked.
I know. I mean, the weather's good, so if you're going to do it, now's the time. Apparently you can. Apparently you can sunbathe naked as in your own garden. This is, you know, again, I'm not entirely sure if it's true, but as long as you let your neighbours know. I don't think that's a good idea, because if I let my neighbours know, they just close the curtains. They close the curtains. We've gone off piste. We've gone off piste.
Listen, you would happen. Jokes there that I'm not even going to go into that. I'm not going to start.
Sorry, everyone.
What's the 3?
Number 3 is what we're all having to do is diversification. So as events people, we can't actually physically get people together. That was our favourite thing to do. And we were really good at it, but we can't do that in the real world anymore. So that is why we have switched to doing things online. And I know that we are one of a gazillion examples of people doing that. So us doing this right now, this is us kind of all diversifying, isn't it? You know, before we would be sat round at each other's houses or in each other's offices and doing it, but we're taking it to a digital platform. And I think that kind of thing's been really, really helpful. Beyond going online, there are loads of other ways that we've seen people diversifying, and it's a really great opportunity for PR as well. So sorry to go down the callous route, but if, you know, you've got to make the most of the fact that you are diversifying. So Shed One Gin have been absolutely phenomenal. They are making and giving away hand sanitizer. So they've switched from gin production to hand sanitizing production. And the point is that they're also then banging a drum about that. And it's really important that they do that part, because otherwise they'd just be doing it. And
is it Katie Edwards that's doing the scrubs? Is she
I don't know which one it is, but there is someone who started sewing and sewing scrubs. There's people. Is it Barbara Blackwell?
Yeah, they've had all of them all over the country for the face masks. They're sitting in their little room and talking away. Fantastic. Great work.
And you know Lucy Nicholson. I know I bang on about Lucy because she is honestly, I'm so proud of her. You know, from Lucy's on the Play. So when I put her on a live 2 weeks ago, we called it "What's in Your Fridge," and she was so nervous. You won't mind me telling you, she was so nervous about it. And she said, "Well, will anybody even want to watch it?" It's probably been our most popular episode. And from that, she now does a live at 5 every day from her kitchen, cooking something live.
Brilliant. That's brilliant. That's brilliant. And it's valuable, you know. That's actually providing something valuable to her audience and keeping in the audience's mind, and probably expanding the audience. So I mean, I don't know about anyone else, but we've got more likes on our Facebook than ever before. Our Instagram following's gone up. So I think people who would normally access you in one way can find out about you in a different way at the minute if you're doing things a bit differently.
Yeah. And I think if you look at people like the restaurants, so obviously some people have gone to ground. You know, they're hiding under the desks. They're worried. They're burying their head in the sands, not doing anything. And other people like Lucy Nicholson and like Jason Turner and Yui from San Pietro are actually being visible, and they're coming to our screens from their kitchens. You know, being a very, very natural, and it makes me personally want to go to their restaurants as soon as we can do, because I feel like I want to not only reciprocate, but I actually want a piece of that back in my life. So I think that is the effect it has. And I think people probably underestimate the value that they have to the local community. And, you know, and they feel a bit scared to go and share a bit of them and, you know, be natural on camera. But actually, it's the most important thing. It's what we all want to see, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. I saw a really lovely one as well the other day where a lady who just, she has a sandwich shop, and she closed it and thought, you know what, it's not worth opening. And then she saw something on the news about loads of school kids just, you know, obviously they're not getting their school lunch, and some kids, that's their main meal for the day, or sometimes their only meal for the day. So she thought, well, this is ridiculous. I can do this. Went and spoke to lots of local produce people. They said, yeah, we'll give you all that stuff. And she's now delivering to all these kids, and making sure that they all
visible in the best way, isn't it? And like, I noticed Danielle Barker from Red Bow Creative Party Boxes, and also Mary Rose Hellman from Sell the Difference. They've got a little competition going between their two villages, Arcombe and Yelland, to put together boxes of food for people who, you know, need it. And they've had like community, you know, what do you call them, collections of all this food. So that means that those two people are staying in our minds again, isn't it? It's all about visibility and helping. And actually what Ali's just said, Ali Tordoff, is it's also given Lucy, talking about Lucy, something to focus on, because it's very easy to go into Netflix land or to hide under your desk, whatever. Yeah. If you've got something to focus on that makes you relevant and visible, actually you're winning on so many levels, aren't you?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what you've just said there about Red Bow and Mary Selman, that brings us on to point number 4, which really is about collaboration and stretching your networks and, you know, getting double the noise. So that's one of the reasons why we teamed up with Lake District Radio, was A, so that everybody could tune in and listen at the same time, but also that then means we've got 2 platforms talking about it. And a really great example of top collaboration was Janett Hardy's Soft Play, and that amazing video. Yeah, round of applause for that, because it really was excellent. Absolutely excellent. And we're going to be sharing that and using that as an example for some other people. And that's what we've been telling our clients as well, is, you know, find someone else that you can partner with in maybe an unusual or a different way, because it gives you twice the voice.
Yeah,
it does.
With that Janett Hardy scenario, the video, and Elaine Remy, she's in the video and she throws some of her rum cake. I had 2 presents that needed to go for birthdays. I was like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to get these people a present? I don't know what to get them in the middle of this crisis. And that video came on, and I was like, oh my gosh, they would both love some Jamaican rum cake. And she sorted it all out. She's been to the post office. She's done a little message for them, and off it's gone. And I'm like, that's just brilliant. That they did that. And there I was right at that moment thinking, what am I going to do? And they just gave me some great ideas. Brilliant.
I have to say, it's actually made me rethink my buying habits, because before, when there was a birthday coming up, I would have gone straight to Amazon.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not going to lie. Amazon, you know, 1-day delivery, get it sent straight to them, easy. Now I'm thinking, actually, in that video, there was 18 businesses, including my lovely daughters, Molly. You know, could I buy from one of them that would help me out, and also the recipient would be, you know, much more appreciative and help out local business as well? So I think there's going to be a real swing, I don't know what you two think, towards buying local far more than we have done before. Do you think that's going to happen?
100%. I think from simple things. I mean, I did the Asda run a couple of weeks ago, and I just swore to myself, I was like, I actually can't face doing that again. So I've been making sure, instead I've been using the local butchers. I've been getting it either from Plumgas or the Lakeland Farm Shop just up the way. I wouldn't have done that before. I'd have thought about it, but probably thought it's going to be really expensive. But actually, none of it is. It's so much better quality, and I think that kind of thing is going to be happening more and more across the board. When we have habitualized to supporting our local people, that's going to stay. I really believe that.
And I think it's one of those things as well. It's about remembering your point there, Soph, about actually it's not that expensive. What the supermarkets have done, and I know we all need them, and I don't want to get on a political high horse, but they've put all the prices up. Everyone's going to remember that. So there are no offers in the supermarket. Literally, I did the same thing. I had to go to, I finally braved it. I went to Asda armed with sanitizer and spray and all kinds of things. And I was literally like, you've taken away all your offers. You've done nothing to really helped me as an individual in this crisis, whereas local people have. And we're going to remember that, and that's what we're going to turn to at the end. So yeah, our habits are going to change a lot.
I think what we've realised is the cost of shopping in a supermarket is greater than the difference in cost, even if there is a difference in cost, because the cost to our communities, is the thing we need to for. And also, I really noticed, I don't know about you two, but the local restaurants, and like Jason and Lucy, for example, who they've always prized their local communities. I know they have, but there are other restaurants and other eateries that haven't necessarily, that are now realizing actually there was or is a community of people that if they can give to the community will give back with their loyalty. Yes. And I think that might change afterwards as well. There might be a bit of polarization.
Yeah, a bit of lessons learned, I think, for some people. We are not just a tourist community. We are a community that lives here as well. And you look after us, we will always look after you.
Yeah. And I suppose you don't know, do you two? If you go and shop in, for example, Plumgarth, and I don't know whether you've got any kind of client relationship there, but there's a potential client relationship there, I'm sure, for you. So therefore, by you showing your loyalty to them, they will come back to you. I think that because of everything we've done with the lockdown lessons, Ashdown Jones hopefully is in everybody's minds now. And even if you're not thinking about selling now, or even in the future, if you know somebody, I think just that kind of mental jump, of Sam, lockdown lessons, local community, Ashdown Jones, selling a house, might just be the thing that you think about.
Exactly. And that is why the visibility thing is so important. I think people are a bit nervous at the minute to be visible. I think people are so scared in case they come across as salesy or whatever. I think just forget about the selling. Don't worry about the selling. Just make sure you keep providing people with value. And that value could be something as simple as a laugh. Yeah. It doesn't have to be, I've written a blog and it's every single thing that you've ever needed to know about, I don't know, washing machines or whatever. It could just be that you come on and do, I don't know, a weekly joke or lockdown joke or whatever it is.
You're not hearing my lockdown joke, Soph. I thought it was so. I actually laughed as I was reading it out, but not another single person in the UK laughed at me, apart from at my joke delivery. So I will not be doing that again. But what would you say to somebody, Janett, that is worried about the way they look on camera, what they've got behind them, like, Soph's at home, about makeup, kids, all that kind of stuff? What, people are perfectionists, aren't they, sometimes?
Yeah, I think it's about keeping it real. People buy people. And if they just see you being yourself, once you get chatting, I mean, I can't see what's going on Facebook anyway at the moment. So for all I know, they could be hurling the booth saying, Sam, get them off. Look already. But with us three, we're just having a really interesting chat. And after a couple of minutes, you do just tend to relax into it. Okay, you're going on camera. You might want to do your makeup. You might want to do your hair. You might want to put a clean top on. And all of those things are okay. But just relax, be yourself, as in the same way as if you were talking to the person in the room. And just be okay with yourself. It is hard for some people. I get that. I get that some people need a bit of confidence to do it. But things like Lucy, who you've just been talking about, the fact that she now realises that she's got something there and it gives her a focus. And it's like, once you've done it the first time, it's like all of these things, the thinking about it is much worse than the actual doing of it. Just be yourself and go for it.
What do you think people are scared of, Soph? What are they fearful
Making
of?
a fool of themselves. No one wants to make a fool of themselves, but actually you're not going to. And I think there's different things. If you're a bit nervous about maybe going live, then build up a little bank of video content. Use this time to build up some video content. We're going to do some workshops actually coming up. We're going to do that in collaboration with a fabulous lady called Susanna. And she's going to be teaching exactly that, how you can frame your shots, how you can make sure that your background looks nice. And it isn't about it being completely pristine. It's just, there are some really simple little tips. I know, Sam, you're a fan of like using the lights and making sure you've got a microphone. It's that kind of thing. It doesn't have to be, super pro, but there are just some little things that you can do to make it easy for people to access it. But I just say chill out, maybe have a wine before you start.
A wine, right?
Have a glass of wine before you go live on Facebook. That is my best PR advice.
Make one of Joyce's cocktails first. Maybe that's our answer. And I think as well, I don't know about you two, but the more times I do it, the less I care about what I look like. I really don't. I go live, in the morning when I'm on my run and I'm sweaty and I've still got my morning eyes on, and and I think you know, and you too, you know, sometimes you look normal and sometimes you look ultra glam, and people still know it's Soph and Janett. And actually, do you
I like how you said normal, because you know fine well, Sam, I remember, I will never forget, one of the best worst compliments I've ever had was Sam when I did like eventually put a bit of makeup on. Someone was like, God, you look like a different person. I was like, I know, scrub off all right.
Compliments me, I know.
But a lot of the time I don't really care. I don't think people buy into what Flock does because I've got some slap on or because we've got something fabulous on. I think people buy into what people do because they're doing a good job, I like to think. No,
I think you're absolutely right. And I think actually this could cause us to move away from that celebrity culture where we're all trying to look Instagram beautiful, and actually just looking normal at the moment, and we're loving it, I think. So like when your kids behind you.
Other way. Look at them, Grace. I can't. This is on mirror. I don't understand where my hand is.
Left is right and right is left.
Yeah, it's very confusing for me. It's confusing enough before.
You're at home, you know, in a very natural environment. You're looking naturally beautiful, obviously. You've got your homeschooling there. The kids could run past any moment.
They're here, they're right here.
Fine. We did an interview the other day with an estate agent, because we've got a group where estate agents get interviewed in the group. And in the middle of the interview, his little girl came up and he went, "What? You want a wee? Go and ask mummy," like this in the middle of the interview. It was just brilliant. And every single homeschooling parent is thinking, yes, it doesn't just happen to me. To me, it happens to me. Yeah. So that's natural, being yourself and getting your personality out, that is just so important, isn't it?
Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
And that is actually quite a lot into number 5, Jay, isn't it? Because I think people are nervous about being visual, but I'll let you crack on.
Yeah. No, it very much. Number 5 is networking. So there are so many people bringing their networking platforms online. As being one of them, LA23 Net went online last week, and it was great. We all jumped into a Zoom room, and Soph chaired it, and we had everybody on mute, and people got an opportunity to speak. People could put their hands up, or Soph would just pick somebody out if it came to it. It works brilliantly. The important thing to do, though, is make sure that you do keep networking. Lots of people love it, lots of people hate it, but keep networking as part of what you do so that your presence is there. But if you're going to network, it's a really easy place to just sit there and just have your coffee and not really get involved and just watch it. Have something to say. Make sure that you are heard, that your voice is heard, and that people know that you've got an opinion or a viewpoint or something of value to offer. It's really important that if you're going to network on these platforms, that you actually participate in that networking.
Do you see people just sitting back then and just sort of almost having you know, what do you call that when you're watching somebody and what's it called?
I don't know. It's like they're on Gogglebox. They're watching what's watching, and everyone's watching the watchers.
Yeah, I know. Can you imagine that? You know, like 10 years ago, somebody said to you, "There's going to be a really popular TV program where you're watching people watch TV."
I know.
Oh my God. But I love it.
It's so weird.
Voyeur was the word that I was trying to extricate from my head. Voyeur. Don't be.
Yeah, get involved. I think that's really important, because that is, you will, if you're choosing your networks right, whether you discover some new ones.
Yeah.
You know, now's a really great time to discover new ones, because most of the platforms, most networking now is online and it's free. So yeah, go in, find out if this is going to be something that you would want to sign up for in future potentially, and use that time. Network like you would, as if you were in a real room. So say who you are, and get your personality out there.
That's a really good tip. I really like that. Can we just run through? I'm going to pick 3 businesses. Can you just think of one quick thing that each of those businesses could do?
Boom, do it. Yeah, go on.
Right.
No pressure.
I missed it. Go on.
Yeah, what did you say? I also missed that.
Shop.
A shop?
A shop. Yeah, if they've got a shop, what can they do now? What content can they put out?
Jay, do you want to go?
Yeah, if you've got a shop, make sure, if you've got a shop, do a couple of things. One of those is there any way that you can deliver, or if you can offer something that's a value for free or a very good deal? Do the sort of thing that Joe Island's done. Have a wander around your shop and let people know the kind of things that you've got in the shop. Because often, if you've seen something in a shop, you suddenly realise that you really need that in your life. So make sure that you're out. If you can deliver, do that. Ewan is a great example. Ewan with his deliveries, he's just doing burritos, and I think it's mainly just burritos, isn't it? On a Friday and a Saturday night. Mm-hmm. You can order up until 5 p.m. on a Thursday night. He sends out on a Monday morning. He sends out a lovely menu, and he dresses it all up, and it makes you want to have one. It's something to look forward to on Friday night. I'm literally like, I've got to have one of those burritos on Friday night. So set it all out so that people can see what it is that you've got for sale. Put some pictures in, put some videos in of you cooking it all up. Let people know how they can get deliveries. Make sure deliveries are for free, because no one wants to pay the extra for the delivery bit. And keep it cheap, keep it real.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Okay, so I'll give one to you then. How about if you've got, I'm thinking of Danny Thompson here, if you've got a hotel that's shut at the moment?
Okay, so for me, I would be doing virtual tours. I would, show people what the rooms are like, and I would do that in a nice, light-hearted kind of way. I would share views of the, whatever the views are from where you are right now. I would be sensitive. I think that's still really important. We can't wait to see you when you get back, but thank you for staying away, because that is the right message at the minute. It's really important that no one's seen to be encouraging people up here at the minute. So I think that it can be tricky, can't it, for the hotels and the guest houses and the tourist places. But I think on the whole, everyone's doing a brilliant job of doing exactly that. I would use your suppliers as well. So you've got that kind of bank of content within what you do. So if you'd normally be getting your bacon delivered from Huddlestone's or wherever it might be, then you say, normally we'd be frying up the bacon at this time in the morning. Can't wait to be working again with Huddlestone's, something like that. Yeah. I'd be talking about, where does your bedding come from? Who supplies your soaps? Like all the different bits and bobs. You could share the kind of things that you will be doing when you'll be open again. I've saw the English Lakes Hotel did a great one. They're going to be firing the cannons when lockdown's up. So the cannon on the end of the pier at Lowood Bay, Simon Berry came on and did a video. And we've been working with Steve Hargreaves, and he did a fantastic piece. I think hearing from the boss at the minute is actually really, really good. So if you're the CEO or the MD, I think a word from you, a little video from you is... People are interested and they want to hear things past and present, Easter weekend 2019, Easter weekend 2020. Honestly, well, I'll shut up, but the list is endless.
No, it is. And actually, sorry, go on, Janett.
No, that was a very good point at the end, the past and present. I was just thinking of Joe Island, and she did that great shot of the hen house. I know it's not hotels, but she did a great shot of the hen house. The first time in 18 years she'd been able to get a shot of the hen house without a car outside. I was like, brilliant.
Yeah. I know, which was actually Victoria Sedgwick's idea. I have to give a shout out for that. That was really good. That was another lockdown lesson. One of our first ones, actually. I was going to say something else about Danny. Oh, yeah, Danny did. So this is Danny Thompson from Oakbank Guest House, which is closed. But he's got NHS workers in there that he's not charging them for. Yes. I will just say that for him, because he's not shouting about that at all. So isn't that a lovely thing to do?
Yeah, that's amazing.
Isolating from their families to keep their family safe. And one thing he did from his own home, which is not in the guest house, he showed everybody how to plant chilies. I mean, bizarre thing to do, but it keeps you in keeps them in the forefront of people's minds.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
All right.
How do you make a bed to a hotel standard?
How do you make a bed?
How do you make a bed properly?
You know who should do that one? Caroline Kay. I have never seen like Caroline Kay's beds in my life.
I'd like to see them cook up a full English. How do they do a delicious breakfast? How do they make the beds? What's so special about it? Yeah, do that, because they always look amazing.
Caroline uses a ruler for her afternoon tea sandwiches.
Wow.
I want to see that on video.
I want to see that on video. I mean, I'm never going to do it, but I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch someone else do it.
It want to go and have one, doesn't it? As soon as we can.
Exactly that. Exactly.
What else was I going to ask you? So is there anything else? We've done two, but that was plenty, actually, I think. Is there anything else that you would like to sort of share with anybody that you've seen that's good, or that people could do, or any other ideas?
Do you know what? One thing I will say is, don't be scared of the press. That would be my biggest tip right now, is call up the TV people. And if you can get video, using your own video footage and your stuff that's happening out there, there is a massive, massive appetite from the press for good news stories at the minute. They've got enough bad stuff to write about. And they are really open. Don't be afraid to pick up the phone and go as far as ringing up the telly. You know, don't worry about it. There's always a really nice person on the end of the phone who goes like, yeah, we're interested, or no, we're not interested in that. But you'll find out immediately, especially with TV, you'll find out immediately. Don't be scared. Just go for it. Get those good news stories, especially the people who are diversifying. What you were saying about Oakbank there, they'd probably cover that.
They probably would, wouldn't they?
They probably would. Just don't be scared. Pick up the phone.
They want good news stories, don't they?
I'll
definitely. I'll actually afterwards, because you made my brain tick over. We could be doing a lot more than that. We actually paid. This is another thing. Actually, we paid for a press release in the paper. We got it something like quarter of the price in the Gazette, because obviously they're not selling space at the moment. So we put our press release in the paper. Please don't read it, because you could have done a much better job. But we had to do it quickly. And we got like a half page for like quarter of the price it should be. So it was worth doing. We're able then to tell our clients there is also a press release going in the paper, which gives you extra credibility as well and responsibility.
Yeah.
We would. Susanna, the lady who does the videos for us, she and I were going to be working on some TV adverts, aren't we, Jay? And that is, she was saying how cheap that is. Yeah, that is gone dirt cheap at the minute. So you could be on the telly in the break of Coronation Street for like way less than you would do normally. So there's ways and means right now. Just make sure.
Coronation Street. I would.
No, we won't. No. The thought of it. This is bad enough, Sam.
Combination Street. No one wants to see Janett and Soph just popping up on the screen.
No.
All right, well, let's move on. The last thing we're going to say is that you have a lovely, very generous offer for anybody who's listening who's got a business, haven't you?
Yeah, we are like so many other businesses out there. We genuinely just want to help people. People are helping us. We want to help others. We are all in this together. We might be in different boats in the storm, but we are all in this storm. So we are offering 20 minutes, probably last longer than 20 minutes. You see how much me and Soph talk. But 20 minutes, pick up the phone. Oak House, pick up the phone. We will help you pull together a PR. We will help you to make the right calls to the right people.
I'm phoning you immediately after this, immediately, okay? I need to get my 20-minute free consultation in, because a 20-minute free PR consultation is worth its weight in gold. And right now, you could be so much more visible than you are being for all the right reasons. So now's the time to do it, isn't it?
Absolutely. Totally. If you feel a bit my story's not very good, just ring us and bounce it off us. We'll be honest.
You can spin it. You're really good at spinning. I think you two are fab. And everybody knows you, just knows how great you are at this stuff, and how you live, you walk the walk, you talk the talk. And I think that is so important. And that's why people just love to work with you, like us.
We love working with you guys, and we love working with other amazing Cumbrian businesses. We thank God that, we are living in such an amazing community across the board. The whole of the county is just been so super supportive of everyone. So yeah, we're happy to do our bit.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Right. Well, thank you for your time. I know you've got homeschooling and other stuff to do, and Janett's kids have probably burnt the house down now, so probably need to let you go. But thank you very much. I'll link to your Facebook page here. We can put some contact details in as well. So if you need to book a call with these two fantastic ladies, then use that mean to do it. But thank you again for your time. You've been super generous, and it's been lovely to see you both and your smiling faces, which we miss.
Oh, we miss you all too. Mwah. Bye, everyone. See you later.